Verse 27 and 28, all lumped together pagan practices, right? So do not cut the hair on the sides of your head or cut off the edges of your beard. Do not cut your bodies for the dead or put tattoo marks on yourselves. I am the Lord. So let's look at each of these. We'll break them apart. The first one is don't cut the hair at the sides of your head or clip off the edges of your beard. I am the Lord. And what I want to say for these before I go into them is actually flip back to chapter 18, verse 3. You must not do as they do in Egypt, where you used to live, and you must not do as they do in the land of Canaan, where I am bringing you. Do not follow their practices. You must obey my laws and be careful to follow my decrees. I am the Lord your God. So that's the idea of all of this, right? You left Egypt. Don't do what they did in Egypt. You're going into Canaan. Don't do what they do. So when you look at these, like this one, don't cut your hair at the sides of your head and don't clip the edges of your beard. I am the Lord. What? Why? There's no explanation in our text. Context, right? So 18:3 says, don't do what they did in Egypt and don't do as they do in Canaan where you're going. Egyptians, particularly in devotion to the sun god Ra or the child god Horus, shaved the head except for a single side lock or circular patch of hair on the side temple, symbolizing youth, protection, or solar cycles. Priests and devotees trimmed beards into square shapes while cropping side hair short to evoke a halo-like circle. This was a ritual marker of divine favor, contrasting with Israelite natural growth. Artifacts like tomb reliefs and statues depict this precisely. A quote, to honor the sun god Ra, the ancient Egyptians had their dark locks cropped short or shaved with great care, so the hair that remained on the crown appears in the form of a circle surrounding the head, for which the halo derives, while the beard was dressed in a square form. Statues and reliefs from Babylonian temples show priests and deities with rounded or corner-trimmed hairstyles, often circular at the temples as part of the lamentation for God like Tammuz, a dying and raising fertility deity. This shaving signified mourning or priestly consecration to astral deities, influencing broader Near Eastern customs. The Metropolitan Museum of Art holds examples, such as a male Babylonian head with precisely cut temple corners. And then Herodotus, which is from 5th century BC, so not as old as where we're talking, has quoted, the Arabians acknowledge no other gods than Bacchus and Urania, and they say that their hair was cut in the same manner as Bacchus's is cut. Now they cut it in a circular form, shaving it around the temples. That was written by Herodotus in his Book of Histories 471. Book 4, chapter 71. So that really helped me when I realized that, okay, this is all about being set apart. So did the Egyptians have some sort of cult practice, or do the Canaanites have some sort of cult practice? And I believe that historical context gives great explanation as to why the Israelites going into Canaan were not to do these things, because that's what the pagans did to stand out in their worship of their God. So don't do that thing. Now, Hasidic Jews today do not cut the hair that is here, and as a result, they have those long curly cues that they actually curl as a style. I don't believe that that is something that we are called to do today. All of this has its context in the day related to those elements as they're going into the Promised Land.
This has been a production of Iron Sheep Ministries.